Okay, let's kick it off on a Wednesday, midweek here, Longshore and McKnight. So glad you are a part of what we do. We're going to tell you all the ways you can check us out, but kicking things off, as you can see, Barry on the road, which I understand he will be all week long with Troy baseball as we're wrapping up the regular season and looking ahead to postseason play.
Now, this morning, today I am in Pearl, Mississippi.
Oh.
Which they tell me is just outside of Jackson. It's where the old Mississippi Braves used to play in the Double-A Southern League.
Yeah. Barry, I did not know they weren't there anymore. Now that you mentioned that, I mean, why would I? But I do remember them being in Pearl, Mississippi. Where are they now?
Oh, heck, Gwinnett? No,
okay.
All right, that's the first one, and it's less than a minute in. Barry, tell me about them. Oh, where are they anymore? I don't know.
There's things you should know over all these years. I better not bring up that they're not in Pearl anymore because I know what question I'm getting.
Yeah. Where are they now? Hang on. They're in Columbus, Georgia. They are the Columbus Clingstones now, which is the name of a kind of a peach, I guess. But yeah, I'll be in Monroe, Louisiana for the next 2 days. Troy baseball wins yesterday afternoon at UAB, the final midweek game of the season, and then the final weekend of the regular year actually begins tomorrow, and that's basically just about for everybody because everybody's getting ready for the conference tournaments. So I will say this, and we'll get this out of the way right now. Troy was not the only team in the state of Alabama to play yesterday. Yesterday was also, we played at 2:00 in the afternoon and got out of there. Troy wins 14-5 over UAB.
Wow. 14-5.
Yeah, pretty dominant there. And then got in the bus, headed down to Pearl, spent the night, and now heading the rest of the way to Monroe. And a lot of the people on our bus were watching ESPN Plus last night from Rudy Abbott Field in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Ooh, I wasn't going to bring this up. Ooh.
There is nobody on the face of the planet who believes that. Not one. Nobody. And we were watching the telecast of the Auburn baseball game against Jacksonville State.
Oh, yeah.
As has been brought up before by a sports media host who has just assured you that he was not going to bring this up. When Jacksonville State came to Auburn a couple, 3 weeks ago and run-ruled Auburn, I think it was 14-1 or 14-2.
Wait, hold on a second.
And he brought it up 14 or 15 times.
Oh, really? Was it that many?
The assurance that I wasn't going to bring this up rings hollow, because we were watching last night where the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, who are pretty doggone good, I think they're close to being top 25.
Oh, wow.
And they are 25-6 at home. They end up leading throughout. Auburn scores a run in the top of the 7th, but that was it. Jacksonville State sweeps the season series against Auburn. 4-1 was the final score.
Total run 4. That's 18 to what? 5 in terms of run comparison in the two games.
I don't know. Why don't you check your texts and somebody will definitely.
Well, Barry, here, look.
Let
come
you
on.
know.
Let's put aside the fact that, as you mentioned, they did get swept by
They
Jackson.
did. Yeah, they lost 2 games.
Yeah, they got swept. I do understand. I didn't know this till earlier in the week. Maybe it was late last week that Auburn will not play Jack State in football again. Maybe they need to do that with baseball as well. But look, we all know the South's oldest continuous baseball rivalry is this weekend. Was it a look-ahead game? Probably so. Did Jack State throw their ace? I'm going to say they did. I don't know if he did or not, but let's just
no.
Auburn threw some tomato can out there. One of these, I guess we got to play it type games. I know it sounds like a bunch of excuses, but I mean, come on.
And Jacksonville State is really good. Their head coach used to be the head coach at Missouri, and his name's Steve Beazer. He's done a really good job there. Yeah. Bill from Baltimore, you're right. Jack State being a top 25 team isn't nothing. This is what makes me feel bad is probably as good a player as Jacksonville State has got, and all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank on his Cooper Blauser.
Yeah.
Cooper Blauser, whose dad, Jeff, played for the Braves back in those glory days of the early 90s and all of that. Now his son
not related to
college.
Jeff Blauser.
Yes, it's his son. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it is. Wow,
that's that's what I'm pointing. That's his little boy. So, yes, Auburn.
Brave, everybody, if you didn't know,
Auburn is getting ready for the big series against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh man,
in Auburn, starting tomorrow night.
Man,
Georgia,
you hairy dogs.
Yeah, Georgia is having a season for the ages. They have already clinched the SEC regular season with 3 games to go. This is it for the regular year. Thursday at 6, Friday at 6, Saturday at 6 at Plainsman Park in Auburn. Alabama, meanwhile.
Oh, yeah, what are they doing?
Alabama hosts intercollegiate athletics as well. Don't forget, they had no midweek game this week, so they are going straight into Sewell Thomas Stadium in Tuscaloosa for 3 games against the number 19 Ole Miss Rebels. So,
hotty toddy. Okay.
That. Yes, Alabama's number 16 in the country. Auburn is number 6 in the country.
Are they still?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I don't necessarily understand how rankings work because Auburn's number 6. Has their strength of schedule been so much better than Alabama's? Because Auburn is 35-16. Alabama is 35-17. Both clubs are 16-11 in the SEC. So how is Auburn 10 spots higher rated than Alabama? Honestly, I don't know.
I can tell you. I've been saying it for years. Preferential treatment,
national perception.
Voters that are apt to give one program a nudge over another. We've been experiencing it for years.
Oh, my man, way offsides Jeff obviously has just entered the program because he says 2 things. He has 2 questions immediately. Boom, boom. Where is Barry today? Yes, I'm in Pearl, Mississippi. And then he says, don't the Braves have a minor league affiliate at Pearl? Jeff, you got to be here from the start, man. You got to be here from the beginning. Yes, they're now in Columbus, Georgia, the Columbus Clingstones.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jeff must have had a long night last night. Getting up late on the program today.
Same question. When Barry mentioned he was in Pearl, I thought there was a Braves affiliate there. Obviously, I need to.
Well, there had been, yes.
Need to hold up on my minor league baseball.
Not bloody likely.
Yeah, probably not.
That ain't happening.
But we are an affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays, who are leading their division. If anybody's interested, how about those Rays?
I'm hoping that John and Warren yesterday, in my absence, talked a little bit about what we like to call manna from heaven. That is the gift that keeps on giving, and that's newly minted LSU coach Lane Kiffin. Lane,
we did.
Thank you, Lane, for giving us some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we brought it up. We didn't talk a lot about it. I got the sense Gurn didn't really want to broach that subject, which I kind of knew that when I brought it up. That's why I did more than anything. But my question was, Barry, besides, Oxford, Mississippi isn't the only college town with a majority white population. I mean, I'm trying to think of what other town in the SEC is majority black, like Lane Kiffin said LSU was or Baton Rouge was. I haven't been to Baton Rouge in a while. I didn't realize that the demographics were that way. But am I surprised that Lane Kiffin would use that to his advantage? Not at all. Not one bit. And I remember when Tommy Tuberville was at Auburn, and at Ole Miss, and prior to him being at Ole Miss, there was a lot of talk about Colonel Reb and the Confederate flag.
Oh, my, and Dixie and all that.
All
yeah.
that type stuff.
A ton.
I think Ole Miss has done about as good a job as they could do to separate themselves from that. But, Barry, you watch Ole Miss on a Saturday afternoon, those uniforms, they're Confederate colors. And they're mixing and matching blue and red and gray and whatever, combination they can come up with. So it's still there a little bit. But my point being, is Athens, Georgia, well, what is their racial makeup? Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Knoxville, Gainesville.
Well,
I think there's a lot of schools in this league you could say that about.
I thought that, number one, Lane will say anything. He will – and he was using that to his advantage. He didn't mean necessarily. He said yesterday, this is where it's timely. Yesterday, he apologized to anybody he may have offended. He loved his time at Ole Miss. They were really good to him and all that. But he was saying that, like John said, to kind of boost up LSU on the shoulders of Ole Miss. Hey, at LSU, we don't have the problems we have at Ole Miss. He was using Ole Miss, like John said, to his advantage.
And he went off on this, kind of Saban. Well, Saban's never said it, but we all know it. I mean, the city of Tuscaloosa, the University of Alabama, prospered big time under Nick Saban from a financial situation, the town, the businesses, and how they prospered. The enrollment doubled. I could go on and on. And Kiffin talked a little bit about that. Real estate prices in Oxford and the enrollment increased.
Certainly.
And all the money that was flowing through that part of the state, kind of, tapping himself on the back. But Barry, to me, Kiffin knew he was going to apologize. I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to apologize for it when it comes out.
This is this is my number one point, because all this has happened a couple of days ago now. And Ty, Kiffin said to On 3 that he meant no disrespect to Ole Miss.
Sure.
We know. John knew he was going to say that. Hey, with all due respect, anytime somebody tells you, hey, I don't mean any disrespect, but that means they're about to disrespect you, right?
That's like, hey, man, this is off the record.
Yeah.
If somebody tells me that, I can't wait to go tell my buddies what this guy said.
If somebody comes up to me and John says, hey, guys, no offense, but that means they're about to say something offensive. I get that. But his apology yesterday, it sounded I got it. I could get it. He says, I was on a podcast. We were talking for about a half hour. And we're saying a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff he's asking me. There's a lot of stuff I'm answering. And I'm just, speaking off the cuff. I didn't have any prepared statement about this. This was not premeditated or anything like this. We were just getting in the flow of it, and I just happened to say it. And I'm thinking, I get that. You and I have been known to, it's a 2-hour show. Beforehand, we did a 3-hour daily show. And, John's not sitting there with a script. I'm not sitting there with a script. We get off on tangents sometimes. Sometimes I'm wondering, how in the world did we get off? So, Lane, I get it. You're sitting there talking and you're bebopping around and you're having a few laughs with your friends, and all of a sudden, holy smokes, did I say that? I didn't mean to say it like that, and all this kind of stuff. And yesterday, Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian took it, and he went a little further. I don't know why Ole Miss is catching strays right now from LSU. Ole Miss is like, what? What did I do? Why is Kiffin dissing us right now? We, made him a lot of money. Texas coach Steve Sarkisian, I think he was on yesterday morning, and he said, we've got academic standards. He says at the University of Texas, if you transfer in, we're taking half of your credit hours. And I'm thinking, ooh.
Yeah, boy, no kidding.
Man, you got if you're a transfer senior and you're not in grad school and you got to give back 50%. I ain't going to Texas. And he said it's not like Ole Miss where you can just walk in right there and get a degree in basket weaving. And then my guy John Sumrall. He says, I'm proud to be coaching at a top 10 public university where we can offer degrees in basket weaving. This is coaches didn't used to be this way. You never heard Charlie McClendon talking smack to Bear. You never heard Shug talking about, well, let me tell you about Fran Kersey up there at Kentucky or anything.
The SEC spring meetings next week in Destin should be interesting.
It should. It
should be an interesting. And, there again, Kiffin, he loves social media. He's not afraid of it. But, talk's cheap. He's got to win.
Well,
LSU's put a lot of money and resources into Lane Kiffin in that program to win. As they have with Will Wade, the basketball coach. We'll see how that plays out as well. But, Vanity Fair, Barry, I thought that was an interesting publication to be interviewed by. The last time I read a Vanity Fair was when they wrote that story about Tiger Woods when his ex-wife put that 7-iron into his grill of his car.
And John, to John's credit, he read that whole article, which doesn't normally happen. He's read Philip Marshall religiously for as long as I've known it, but maybe it runs about 10 to 12% the number of Philip Marshall articles he ever put out that John read from beginning to end. Maybe 88% of them he's like, because I'm sitting here, he's on the air, he's going, okay, I've read this. What? Okay. And then that's it. It takes him like 45 seconds to skim a Philip. Same thing with Vanity Fair. John read the whole article on Tiger Woods.
Oh, it's great. I thought, wow, really? Man,
she did
really
what?
Happen? Man, geez. Wow, that was pretty good.
Stood on his hood and then, whoa.
So we got a lot going on today. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News in about 15 minutes. CJ is going to join us as he does on Wednesdays. In the bottom of hour number 2, we're heading down to Greenville. Brian Reynolds, the director of golf at Cambrian Ridge, is going to join us. The PGA begins tomorrow. Been watching a lot of Golf Channel, Brandel Chambly over the last couple of days, breaking down the PGA, playing in Philadelphia. We'll talk a little bit about that with Brian. Also, some other big news that, I was excited about when I heard it. We'll break that down when we get back from our first time out.
One quick thing as well, something great news I was excited about. In a game matching the two best teams in the National League, the two best records, Braves win against the Cubs last night by a final of 5-2. Braves win. We'll talk about the Phantoms Daily Dog a little later on as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It is Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K, Saturday, May the 30th from 7:30 until 10 a.m. Proceeds benefiting the River Region United Way. Here's your chance to run on the Montgomery Regional Airport runway. It's a great time for the entire family. For more information, just scan the QR code on the screen or visit iflymgm.com. The Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it, with Delta, American, and United Airlines serving MGM with routes to Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Dallas-Fort Worth, and Houston. The Montgomery Regional Airport 5K Runway Run, Saturday, May the 30th. Register now for a great day of fun at MGM.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What'd I miss? I have no idea.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for $13,000 off. Broncos $12,000 off. Expeditions $10,000 off. And Bronco Sports $9,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s, 18 grand off. Super Duties, 2 grand under invoice. And Lightning, 16 grand off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends and family. You'll get instant notifications. Won't cost you anything to subscribe. You'll just be on top of everything that we're doing here at Longshore and McKnight. Check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. I know a lot of people watch us through the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, type in Longshore McKnight. Go to YouTube, X, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes. It's all there. A lot of people check us out through their Bluetooth and their cars or trucks, and we certainly appreciate you checking us out on your schedule. That's the beauty of this platform. Daniel wants to know, is Cam Coleman still a freshman now that he transferred to Texas? Did those credits transfer over there? Is he what academic status is he now?
That doesn't make any sense, what Sarkisian said. If I'm a junior and you've got enough credits to qualify as a junior, which took some people longer than others to accumulate those credits, and I'm going to Texas, and they say, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're a second-term sophomore. I mean, you're a first-term sophomore." I'm thinking, I ain't doing that. Those are legitimate credits. It ain't like Texas is Harvard or anything like that. I wonder about that a lot, and it's perceptive. By the way, our guy way offsides, love that guy, love his podcast. And, of course, he said, hey, where's Barry today? And, hey, doesn't Pearl have a minor league bet, which, of course, we talked about in the first hour, but he totally redeems himself. Here's the string here.
Let's hear it. Let's read
Daniel points out, he says, hey, Donald Gibb from Revenge of the Nerds passed away. He played Ogre on the football team.
Man.
Remember.
Not related to Barry Gibb.
He got or Andy Gibb or Morris Gibb or Robin Gibb. He's a different Gibb. He was the one that Booger beat in the belching contest at the Greek Olympics.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Revenge of the Nerds, Donald Gibb played Ogre. Okay, that's not his best. Way offsides, Jeff says, Nerds. And rest in peace, Ogre. And then, I'm sitting there thinking, come on, guys. And then Jeff totally redeems himself from his earlier snafu by saying he was also Ray Jackson in Bloodsport. He was Jean-Claude Van Damme's best buddy. He played a guy named Frank Dukes in Bloodsport. I never saw that girl, the love interest, in any other movie, but she was pretty good. Bloodsport, underrated movie. It was the first time I ever saw Jean-Claude Van Damme on his way to Academy Award recognition. Or not. So, Jeff, okay, all right, you redeemed yourself. You knew he was Ray Jackson in Bloodsport. Check that movie
not
out.
Bad, but hey, he was, he was no. Oh my Lord, it completely just escaped me.
That happens now. It's happening now.
Who was in the? He was one of his characters was Chuck Norris.
Give him a moment. John will work it out. Sometimes it's like somebody who has the wind knocked out of them.
That's right.
Or takes a bad hop grounder to the groin. Sometimes you just got to step back and let them get over it themselves.
Give me a minute.
Anytime John says, "Oh, I can't believe I don't remember his name," and I'm telling everybody, nobody say anything. Nobody just step back. No, nobody chat anything. You guys on the text line, leave him alone for a moment. And he'll get it worked out.
One cup of coffee today.
Yeah.
I had a brush with greatness with Chuck Norris.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. When I was in high school, a good banker friend of mine, who's a banker today for our good sponsor, River Bank, we were standing in line to be in the audience of the David Letterman show.
I remember you telling that story.
And we were in New York during spring break, our senior year in high school, which is what my two boys are about to graduate from in a little less than a week. And Chuck walked through the first floor, the lobby area of the RCA building where the NBC studios were. And I remember going, "Hey, Chuck," and he kind of looked at me. Now we didn't speak, but he did turn his head.
That's two things. Number one, that's no brush with greatness. If he walks by you,
but number he did turn his head.
Number two, is that twice in John's lifetime in Manhattan where he yells out, "Hey, Chuck," to somebody, except the second time, maybe it was the second time.
Yeah.
Was that followed by a War Eagle when John had shouted down Charles Barkley coming out of a dry cleaners in Manhattan?
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, Chuck," to the two most famous Chucks out there. I wonder if John would have said that if Chuck Schumer was going through town.
No, hell no, I wouldn't have done that. But he did turn his head and smile. He recognized that,
He did not. We need to get a judge's ruling on that. I doubt it.
Look at that. There's me and Chuck.
Yeah. The other Chuck.
Look
that
at
one's
hair.
Still with us. Yeah.
Back when I had some and it was black. Back when I used to be kind of cute.
It wasn't
how about Bill from Baltimore,
it wasn't that
Barry?
long ago. Yeah.
How about this one? Bill, you don't have them all, but you got some of the good ones.
John says, we don't, I said, we don't have a script. We don't come up with script. And Bill says, what? Curtin, Tennessee Tennis, Chop Block, Smoothies, Moochie Norris, Western Union. The thing is I think there's a limit to the number of characters we can use on each chat. So he could probably go on.
Oh, yeah.
But it would take him about 5 or 6 chats to get it in there. 180,000? Moped? Half a championship and 57?
You're leaving a lot on the table.
Yeah. So we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We have all summer for that. Believe me. So
Barry, I get this text yesterday. Hey, check this out. TV times have been announced. Oh, really? That stopped immediately what I was doing to see what this was all about. And, we got these little, Saturday week 0 games and a Thursday. And I see Miami's at Stanford on a Friday. And then we get into the meat of the matter.
Right.
And I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. East Carolina and Alabama at 11 o'clock on September the 5th. And I'm thinking, well, go ahead and get that 11 o'clock game out of the way. I like that. Go ahead and do it. But I'm a little surprised that Bama and East Carolina are an ABC game. You got Auburn and Baylor also immediately following the East Carolina-Alabama game at 2:30.
Right.
Followed by Clemson at LSU at 6:30. So it's a good triple header. But back to the East Carolina game, and I went and got my helmet schedule that you provided for me several weeks ago. And immediately as I scanned every team, I went, oh, well, yeah. Now I know why Alabama and East Carolina's on at 11 o'clock.
Hold that.
Because there's no other game any good.
Hold up that schedule again. We're going to do this every once in a while, just during the course of the summer. You take a look at it. It's pristine. It's not – there's no highlighter that I can see yet. And the edges, the corners are not dog-eared.
Nope.
It's not been folded over anything. By the time we get to, say, early August, that thing will look like one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, I'm telling you.
Sure.
I mean, it'll be highlighted. It'll be an X over some of these teams. The edges will be folded over. It's going to be a mess. But I never can figure out. I understand fans. I do. People who have no intention of going to some of these games, like John. Yeah. John ain't going to be at Alabama, East Carolina, so no big deal. 11 o'clock in the morning, might as well. It's an inconvenience to the fans, sure, but I don't care. But some fans out there will absolutely gripe about it. Man, I can't believe they got us on at 11 o'clock in the morning. And my thought is always, what do you care? You ain't going. Get up, eat you some eggs and grits, and there you go. You're into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you live in Mobile or, Huntsville or Nashville and you got to make an 11 o'clock kick, that's a little tough. I got to tell you, even heck, from Montgomery, it's tough. I mean, you got to be pulling out 6:30 in the morning or something. And that's brutal. But the triple header on opening week, East Carolina and Alabama, Auburn and Baylor, Clemson and LSU. Game day will be in Baton Rouge that week. Game day will be in, where did I see they were the next week? Was it Texas, Ohio State? I got to think it is.
I would imagine
check
so.
that.
Yes.
And that game's on ABC, as is the LSU Ole Miss game from Oxford in week 3, which we were talking a little bit about that earlier. That certainly should be a doozy. So, and then we get to media days in Tampa in about 2 months. They'll be trickling out more TV times, more kickoff times, things like that. So we should know probably the first 3 or 4 weeks when the kickoff times will be. So we'll keep an ear open for that.
The NFL schedule's trickling out. Tomorrow they'll really get the big schedule revealed there. When we come back, CJ Duncan will join us. Always one of our favorite aspects of the week. It's next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 28 minutes to the top of the hour. We do it on Wednesdays. Our man CJ Duncan with Yellowhammer News joins us here. He's in the car today, on the move. How you doing, CJ?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
We are doing great. Barry's get that mic. There he is.
Yeah, doing well. We've been talking about a lot of different things involving Lane Kiffin today. Very interesting, kind of inflammatory to some people, comments he made about his time at Ole Miss and how it relates to LSU. He said diversity was an issue, or lack thereof, at Ole Miss that he doesn't have to deal with at LSU. And we're wondering, number one, is that true? Is diversity an issue between those two schools? And number two, how much of an issue it is in the recruitment process? Do you have any thoughts on those comments, CJ?
Well, you know what? I think there's some truth to it, and then there's some there's some exaggeration to it as well. I think when you're on campus with these SEC schools, you're going to have decent diversity at most schools. Of course, they will be predominantly white, but there are other black males and females on said campuses. But where I do think, or at least what I think his intentions were to say, was when you're recruiting a kid that's not from Mississippi, there is just a certain,
preconceived.
Yes, exactly. Of what that is and what that means. And matter of fact, when I was coming up, my grandmother made similar comments. Hey, based on my experience, based on what I lived, I don't want you going that direction, that kind of thing, just because I don't know. Right. And so and maybe that's the state in general, but that's also just what she remembered from when, she was growing up. And so there are things like that that still live on, especially with the older generation, and they're just doing their job protecting, their cubs, right, in a sense.
Yeah.
And so now listen, my brother went to Mississippi State, had a great experience. The state of Mississippi was great to us. We've never had any issues, but the old guard, the older generation, that's what they remember. And so I can see if Lane's going into certain houses, mothers and grandmothers or granddads may have a little hesitation about what it means for a black man going over to the state of Mississippi.
CJ, could you not say the same thing about Alabama?
You
Because
sure
certainly
could.
they've had some history as well. What's the difference?
You know what? I don't know that difference. In my grandmother grew up in Alabama, so I don't know exactly what it is, and I don't know exactly what it is about Mississippi that may set folks off. And like I said, I don't think it's that way anymore. I don't think a ton of people are saying that about the state of Mississippi, but I have heard those comments before, and I think that's what Lane was intending to.
I remember, and I know Barry does as well, Billy Brewer, the former coach at Ole Miss years ago, Tuberville even mentioned it. I mean, Brewer was saying, listen, we got to change some things over here. We got to get rid of Colonel Reb and playing Dixie and the Confederate flag waving at the games. It is hurting us. It is not helping us. And it was hard to get that fan base and that student body, because you go to an Ole Miss game, there were Confederate flags waving everywhere. And they've done a pretty good job of changing that. Maybe that's what separated them from other SEC schools, because you just didn't see there, like I said, a Confederate flag, Colonel Reb or Dixie being played by the marching band. That you just didn't hear that in Tuscaloosa or Auburn or Athens.
That's a really good point, and I know that they had a statue on campus that was not a great look optically either, and I think the student body several years ago was able to at least move it from the front of campus to probably the back of campus. So there's a few things, like you said, that they've been kind of behind the ball on, that they're trying to correct. And like I said, we had a great experience at Mississippi State in Starkville, but it's just you can't blame folks for what they've experienced. That is their experience, and you've got to take that for what it is. But also, folks who have experience, they also have to have a willingness to be open-minded and see the progress as well. And so I think now folks can start to see the progress in what's going on in the state of Mississippi and specifically in Oxford. But I do the things that Lane says he's hearing, he's not wrong by that.
But along those same lines, Ole Miss, University of Mississippi, is catching some strays here. I mean, they're like, why does Lane say that anyway? Or can CJ, can he just not help himself?
You know what? I think he can't help himself. It's like you're already, you already stabbed him in the back. Now you're kind of turning the knife. Like y'all were so good together, and things were going well. Nobody necessarily did anything wrong for you to leave, but you still leave. And so now they're still grieving over the fact that you're not there anymore. And you're still taking shots that may potentially hurt them even more. They're hurt already. You don't have to turn the knife too, So
well, and they're catching, like I said, they're catching strays. I mean, Steve Sarkisian joins in. He's talking to On3 yesterday at University of Texas. I'm sorry, with USA Today. He said at Texas, we will only take 50% of a player's academic credit hours. You may be a semester from graduating, but you're going all the way back to 50% if you play here and want a degree. But at Ole Miss, they can take you. All you have to do is take basket weaving, and you can get an Ole Miss degree, end quote. Ole Miss is sitting over here in Oxford saying, what did we do?
Oh, my goodness. Golding's going through it right now. They're going to make him earn that paycheck. I tell you that.
Yeah. The academic aspect of it. John and I were talking. If I'm, 75% of my credit hours towards a degree, I ain't going to Texas. I'm not going to Harvard. I'm not going to Vanderbilt. if I got to give back, 25, 30, 35% of my credit hours, does that, you went to a really good academic institution. You got a quality degree. Does that even sound right, CJ?
You know what? I wouldn't do it either. I still give my wife a hard time because she started off at Southern Cal out of high school and decided to transfer to Auburn after 2 years at Southern Cal, and Auburn didn't take one accredited hour. So she had to start completely over, went to Auburn, eventually graduated. So she had 6 years of college, and I still give her a hard time about it. I'm like, I would have stuck it out if they would have told me that. I just,
man,
there's no way. So yeah, no way. Not for me.
Well, somebody on our chat line today said, well, is Cam Coleman a freshman again? I mean, going from Auburn to Texas. Yeah. I mean, gee whiz.
Well, you know what, Cam Coleman, I don't know that the academic part of things is his top priority, especially with him potentially being a top 10 pick next year. He's just there to be eligible, not necessarily to overachieve.
Yeah. CJ, late last week, I guess it was, we've been hearing about it. Private equity firms getting involved with the Big Ten and maybe some other schools around the country. The University of Michigan hooking up with some AI company that's made a ton of money and a big profit that's potentially going toward their NIL. There seems to be schools and conferences that are getting very creative out there about how they can raise money. I'm not hearing a lot about that in the SEC. Your thoughts about it? Do you think it will happen in our league? And I think, if other schools and other conferences are doing it, the SEC is going to get left behind if they don't.
Yeah, John, we've just been selling Morgan Wallen tickets. That's kind of our deal down here. We've kept it pretty simple, but you know what? I think they have a real advantage, and Vanderbilt in a lot of ways kind of fits in that boat. I'm sure that we'll continue to be a little bit more creative. But at some of these bigger universities, Big Ten universities, Michigan High Academia, and several others like that, they have alumni who have gotten into those industries. They have alumni that have gone off, whether it's to California dealing with AI, or Chicago or New York dealing with private equity. So their alumni are actually putting them in these positions to give them these ideas, to be creative as to how they can get more money, find loopholes through the system to get more money into the university to make sure that they have the top tier athletes. But I guess I'm just hopeful that at some point the dust settles with this thing, and the kids realize that whether it's money or not, or if the money is equal, it's just a better experience playing down south. The fan bases are better, the stadiums are better, and honestly, the weather is better. I'm kind of hoping that plays a role as well. And so I do think the dust will settle. I don't know how much more creative we'll get. I don't know that we'll start hiring different companies or negotiating with different companies to help us get more money. I don't know if we're taking out loans or bonds. I don't know what that looks like, but I do think the alumni base and the location probably has a lot to do with some of these other creative ideas they have.
All right, be patient with me here because this will take a moment to develop, CJ. I'm on a baseball trip. I've been on 10 jillion of them. I'm in Pearl, Mississippi right now. And it was interesting to me on the baseball trip, 32 baseball players, all the baseball coaches and everything in the bus with me. And I was surprised yesterday as we're driving up to Birmingham to play, the tone of conversation among all these baseball players. And so I thought I'd ask you about this one particular topic, which dominated the conversation in the bus. All right now, if you got a phone call and you answer the phone and it says, hey, CJ, I've been watching you on Longshore McKnight. Look like you got a good head on your shoulders. I like what you're saying and everything. This is LeBron. Man, what should I do? Well, I'm weighing it with my family and all that, but I'm catching you on the show. I just want to run it by you. This is LeBron. Man, CJ, what should I do? Should I keep playing or should I hang it up?
So I personally say, hey, LeBron, at this point, there's nothing left to prove, right? There's nothing here. I don't know that I don't think another year is going to help your so-called GOAT conversation. You're
Your
already number
legacy.
one in, your legacy. You're already number one in points and this and that. If anything, you want people to remember you as LeBron, athletic, fast, durable, great teammate, passes the ball well. You want to be remembered in a great light. I think sometimes you see some of our superstars, some of our all-time greats, they stay a year too late, right? And you kind of remember that version of them instead of the version where they were in their prime and they dominated. And so I think LeBron's on the cusp of that, right? Where we had a really good he had a really good year and does really well playing that kind of number 3 guy role where he can be in the dunker spot there on the baseline, or he can kind of be the guy that's setting the pick and roll and being explosive from the 3-point line and down. But I do think that, after a while, Father Time does eventually catch up even to somebody who's, a Monstar kind of thing. And you just don't want to be remembered that way. You want people to remember you as one of the greatest.
I would think, CJ, if I was LeBron, thinking, I really feel confident we got a chance to win an NBA title next year. If I felt that way, maybe I'd stick around. It doesn't look like they're going to win one next year. I think they're just an old team. OKC looks pretty dadgum good, and from what I understand, they got those guys locked down for a while. Other teams out there, I think the Knicks are playing really well.
San Antonio Spurs are not going anywhere. I mean, they're incredible.
Well, why do I want to put myself through, 8-9 months of basketball when I'm deep down, I'm thinking, I don't think we're going to win it all at the end of the year.
Well, as long as DeAndre Ayton is their starting center, they don't have a shot. Okay, that should be the first order of business this offseason. If I'm LeBron, that's the negotiating that I'm doing. If you want me to stay, this guy's got to go.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it. I don't know how this guy has a job.
Because of LeBron. LeBron's been carrying him around for the whole season. Just about.
Goodness gracious.
Maybe they can get Zion from the Pelicans, and we can get us about 6 good players down there and be competitive again. I wanted to ask you this before we go. We did this earlier in the week. We called it "What is Good Enough?" and we're talking about it with football teams at the end of the year. What is going to be good enough? I'm not going to ask you about every one of them, obviously, but there's a few I wanted to get your thoughts about. What is good enough for LSU with everything we've talked about, all the hype about Lane Kiffin, the money they've spent to get them down there and put that roster together? What's good enough? At the end of the season, what's got to be good enough for this LSU fan base?
I mean, that's really tough. Do you have the schedule in front of you for LSU?
Yeah.
What's their out of conference game?
Well, they opened with Clemson at home, La Tech in week 2, McNeese in week 5. That's it. Those are the 3.
Okay, so for LSU, you've got to win 11 games. It just comes down to that. With the expectations, the money spent, the drama, all these news cycles where you're the focus and usually not a positive focus, you've got to win 11 games, and you don't have a hard enough out of conference schedule in order to sneak you in with 2 losses, right? So if you're one of those, on the border 2-loss teams, you don't have a game that's impressive enough out of conference for them to put you into the playoff. And so I think for them to be who they want to be and for them to have done all this talking, there's an expectation now, and I think 11 games minimum is where they're at.
I think that's valid for sure.
With Auburn, is it as simple as winning 8 games, hopefully 9, and beating a Georgia or an Alabama teams you haven't beaten in quite some time? And I think with Alabama, is it as simple as just don't lose games by 20 or more points?
You know what? I think right now it's progress. I don't even want to go to 8 or 9. Let's start off with 7. Haven't made a bowl game in a couple of years now. At Auburn, you want to see some progress. You want to see a little bit more discipline on the interior lines, pre-snap, those kind of things. You've had the talent haven't been short of talent. They've been struggling at the quarterback position and with discipline. And so you want to see that there's a toughness about this team. You can really see it on special teams with a lot of teams and in their interior lines, what they're really made of, how they're being coached. So with Auburn, if they get 7 wins, but also you can see a shift in the culture, a certain toughness about them, I think that'd be good enough for this year. First year guy.
CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News. You can crank it up and get moving with your day. We do appreciate the time and the insights as always. Best to you, okay?
Always a pleasure, guys. Looking forward to next week.
Yes, us as well. Great stuff. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, hopping on as he does on Wednesdays. Hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, CJ can be at the nation's capital. He can be in an airport. He can be in his car.
He's on his way to a meeting 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Sure. Man, the guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great. Bam, certainly I had it on my list as well, wanting to get CJ's thoughts about Lane Kiffin's comments. I thought that was explained very well, and I really enjoyed his insights on that.
Well, we'll take a break here. A big shout-out coming up in just a moment as well. Still to come, of course, Brian Reynolds down at Greenville at Cambrian Ridge, talking a little golf with him, the Phantoms Daily Dog, and more. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw. 7 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Wednesday. So glad you are with us here today.
Yep. A big shout out today. John is in his home studio. I'm in Pearl, Mississippi right now. I'll be doing the show tomorrow and Friday from Monroe, Louisiana. We've been involved in sports for a vast majority of our lives now. In case you need another reminder of why sports matter, I know a lot of you will not recognize this name, but I've been associated with women's basketball for a long time, and many of you will know of women's basketball Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli. She was a terrific player. She has been a long-time women's basketball television analyst all over the place. If you watch any on a national scale, you'll hear about Debbie Antonelli. Well, they have just finished. She has just finished up her 8th year of the 24-hour nothing but net free throw marathon.
Whoa.
8th year. And in those 8 years with, again, Debbie Antonelli's 24-hour nothing but net free throw marathon, John, she has raised over $1.6 million for Special Olympics.
Wow.
Her middle son, Frankie, lives with Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
During this free throw, again, it's 24 hours. It's live streamed. They have interviews with, with doctors, with people who are living with disabilities. But, and of course, a part of it is she's shooting free throws. 24 hours, she's shooting free throws, and not every hour, not every minute of every hour she's shooting free throws. Yeah. They have interviews, they have replayed interviews, so she can use the restroom and stuff. In 24 hours, she made 2,400 free throws. She made 2,400 free throws. John, she missed 103. That is 96%.
Yeah.
96%. Just standing there shooting free throws.
I wonder, Barry,
incredible.
Does your arm start hurting?
Well, again, she's not doing it full time all the time. Actually, she's probably doing about half the time she's doing that. They're live streaming it all, so she'll have Special Olympians, Special Olympic fundraisers, people with who are involved medically in treating people with disabilities and all that. But number one, hats off to her, because she's raised more than $1.5 million for Special Olympics in 8 years just by shooting free throws, and has really mushroomed into a big deal. But holy smokes, 24 hours and she's making 96%. Don't give me this about some of these kids. Well, I'm just not good at shooting free throws. You got to practice at it, you know?
Practice.
So anyway,
practice.
Great
that
stuff.
That is incredible. I'm so glad to hear that.
It's unbelievable. Just Google Debbie Antonelli, and you can take a look at some of the interviews. I think it's debbieantonelli.com where it was live streamed and everything like that. But a really good cause, a really good idea to fundraise for that cause. And I'm still blown away that she's shooting free throws for an entire day and hits them at 96%.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievable.
That really is amazing. I told the story about when I was coaching my daughter in Y ball, and she clanked every free throw she had in a game. And that afternoon, we went up to the Southeast Y. We were the only two people in the gym. I said, "You're not leaving till you make 100." Now, not in a row, but you had to make 100. It took a minute. It took a little longer than I thought, but
let's see.
Very important part of the game.
Checking the chat line. Good stuff. Good stuff from. Several of our guys way offsides. Jeff, Daniel, Ty.
Where's Theotis today? Is Theotis
I haven't seen him. Bob from Pike Road says Auburn's not going to be any good. Yeah, right. So Auburn will struggle. Disaster on the path. Okay, yeah. So Bob has weighed in. Good to hear from him, even if it is the same stuff out there. As we close out our first live hour of the program, we're in the middle of May, and we're a little bit more than a week away from one of my favorite segments, because I get to weigh in on it. If this was just a John segment, it'd be maybe a little bit tedious.
Ooh.
But it is the where I was right and where I was wrong.
Yeah, very program. A week from this Friday. Yeah. You brought that up because I've already started working on some stuff.
Well, I've already started on my notes and everything in anticipation. If John says he was right about this, make sure you mention that he said such and such and so and so. If John says he was wrong about this, but here are the not excuses, here are the reasons why it wasn't really my fault or why I wasn't really wrong about this. I'm starting to work on some of my responses there as well. But
some of them are just no argument.
Wrong.
It's just flat out home run. Wow,
yes.
Really? Pretty good prediction there.
How did he know that was going to happen? That's crazy.
Others, there's a little wiggle room, half credit, partial credit, I think is the best way to put it. Partial credit.
It's a multifaceted program where he exalts and toots the horn about where he was right. He skims over where he was wrong. But there's also predictions for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
As well, which
That's
is
right.
really, if I'm perfectly transparent, that's my favorite part about the whole thing. Because
it
I'm looking
is.
there, I'm tracking, I'm over here, and this will be like in, I don't know, months from now, mid-October. I'm thinking, how did he know that? That just happened, and he predicted that back in mid-May. How did he know that? Drives me crazy.
And the beauty of this new format is you can actually see Barry turn his head and look at me like, really? You think that's really going to happen? And back in the radio days, you couldn't see the facial expressions.
But he knew what I thought about it. He could feel Barry ain't going to like that.
No. So we'll do that a week from this Friday. We always do it the Friday of Memorial Day.
Yes.
So look forward to that. I think we'll be at Stivers CDJR on that day. I'll be at Stivers Ford this Friday. Barry, you mentioned as we go to break, Robbie from Greenville got some big news for you. I know you're watching this morning. Got it for you, Robbie. When we come back, I'm going to break it to you. You ready, Robbie?
I hate when he does that. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Well,
all right, welcome back in.
It is the second live hour. Again, he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. He is at the home studio. I am in Pearl, Mississippi. We've talked a little bit about Lane Kiffin and all that. Mentioned the quick thing about the Braves. More on that in just a moment. We also mentioned this Tuesday. We mentioned it. Might have mentioned it yesterday. Today is the day when you start to see trickling out some of the the NFL schedule. The full NFL schedule is released tomorrow. And people lose their absolutely minds over all of that. But today, and it's just now trickling out, like within the last couple of minutes, it's starting to trickle out, NFL Network, whatever, some of the international games.
Mm-hmm.
This just in. On Sunday, October 25th at 8:30 a.m.
Wow.
The Pittsburgh Steelers play in Paris against the New Orleans Saints.
You hear that, Robbie?
Saints.
Hear that one?
Oh, that was John's deal. I'm sorry. That was John's deal. That's what he was teasing.
Uh-huh.
Saints in Paris.
Yep. You
against
hear that, Robbie?
the Steelers.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I didn't realize that's what John was doing.
Man.
I didn't mean to jump the route.
Agent Cannon promoting a big travel package to go watch that game in Paris. Man, what I'd do to go with Bobby Hebert to Paris to watch the Saints Steelers game.
The only city in the world that has more fleur-de-lis around than New Orleans does.
That's
Saints and the Steelers.
I'm not sure.
8:30 in the morning on a Sunday?
An international game, Barry. I'm not sure they have. I believe, Barry, that'll be that 3:30 Paris time. Trying to think, it's 6 hours. London 6 hours here, 7 hours. Paris is 7 hours difference from Montgomery, so that's about right. Yeah, about a 3:30 game. Yeah, it'll be about a 3:30 kick over there.
Yep.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, man. You know, you'd have to really plan for that. You couldn't just zip over and zip back. That'd be kind of tough. It'd be a lot.
Well, who wants to do that? It's Paris. You know, Paris ain't no day trip, right?
Got to go up on the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe and all that kind of good stuff. I'd still like to go to something like that. I mean, you know, Travis has seen the Jags play internationally. I think this is the first international game the Saints have ever played.
I can't remember one. I really can't. They haven't released all of the times yet, but they've released the matchups. What you've got, and they're all in right now. I'm not sure how they're going to do this, to be honest, John. Week 1, the 49ers and the Rams in Melbourne, Australia, at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
You know, that's a lot of you're in the air a long time.
It is. This is how much of a time difference is. It'll be September the 11th in Australia. It'll be only September 10th in the United States. So you can say, you can tell your bookie, hey, have they played in, I mean, you're going to have to wait like an extra day for that one to come to know whether it's a winner or not. Cowboys and the Ravens in Rio de Janeiro in week 3.
Yeah.
October 4th, you've got the Commanders against the Colts in London.
Yeah.
October 11th and October the 18th. The Jaguars are going to be spending a lot of time in London because they play the Eagles in London October the 11th at one stadium, Tottenham Hotspur, and then they'll play the Texans the next weekend at Wembley.
How about that?
We mentioned Steelers Saints at the Stade de France, October 25th. In Madrid, it's the Falcons against the Bengals.
Trip. Okay.
The Lions.
So, Barry, is this what I want to, I guess it is, this will be a Saints home game, so they'll only have 7 home games at Caesar Superdome?
It is a Saints home game. That is true. Wow. So, only 7.
Options to go to a Saints game this fall.
Munich, week 10, Munich, Germany. There'll be the Patriots and the Lions.
Yeah.
And the Vikings and the 49ers play in Mexico City on November the 22nd.
Yeah. You know, all these long travel trips that these teams are taking, it just reminded me of something that maybe I don't know if I've shared this on our new platform. We're 432 episodes in. I don't believe I have. I know I've shared this on the back in the radio days. But you have Melbourne and Sydney and Paris and Madrid. I mean, these are some
New York, London,
you know, it's
Paris,
not like
Munich,
hopping from Atlanta to Charlotte to play an NFC South game. I mean, these are some long trips and there's a lot of moving parts. I don't know why I thought about this when you were talking about all these long trips. And I know I've told you this before, but My first wife who passed away, Jackie, was a flight attendant for Delta. And in her early years, you're in your 20s, and I mean, you'll go anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter. Let's do it. And I know I've shared a lot of stories. I was able to fly free. I could non-rev, and I've, met her a lot of her layovers on the weekends and things of that nature. Well,
John does not like non-rev sports, but he loves non-rev flights.
Oh boy, back in the day, it was awesome. Loved it.
Him again?
She and several of her flight attendant buddies thought this would be fun. They hear all these stories what other people are doing. It was about 4 of them, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. They flew to Seoul, South Korea, with the intent to buy a lot of fake handbags, knockoff Louis Vuitton.
Chanel. I was about to say they're real handbags, but they're fake labels
labels. And so they went over there, filled up suitcases with Louis Vuitton fakes, Chanel fakes, the whole deal, and were coming right back. I mean, I don't think they were in Seoul 24 hours. They landed, went to the markets, got all the stuff, had all these people, bring me this one back. I want one of these, this one of these. And we're coming home the next day. Yeah. That's a lot of airtime. That's a lot of flying, like 15 hours over.
It's a long way to Seoul if you want to rock and roll.
So they're coming back, and they're going through customs. Not one of those bags made it through.
So what do? I mean, they just took that loss, right? I mean, you can't return them.
No, and they got them for nothing. I mean, they sell those things for nothing over there. I mean, I don't know. I think a Louis Vuitton bag, several hundred, maybe several $1,000s. You can go down in New York as well. There's areas there in New York as well. Little Italy, Chinatown around in there.
Listen.
You can buy that stuff down there too, because believe me, I've done it.
I went with the Troy basketball team one time. We played at a tournament at Columbia University. And the day before we took our flight back, they stopped the team bus in Chinatown.
Yeah.
And they've got all these stalls out there and everything and all that. And one of those guys says, "Man, I got this watch." Look, the other way I can hear him in the back. I didn't actually see the watch. "Man, I got this watch. Check it out. It's a Rolex." And he says, "Man, that says Polex." He says you can tell a Rolex because it has a sweep.
Sure.
Secondhand, right? He says that one's ticking, and it says Polex on it. He's like, "Oh man," he said, "That's $35 right down the drain."
Alabama
getting a Rolex for $35.
They're extremely light. Rolex is heavy because it's real gold, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But when Alabama played Ohio State in what was dubbed the Kickoff Classic at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford. So we were in school at the time. So me and a bunch of my buddies go up to New York for the game. We are just thinking, man, everything's great. And we're just walking around Manhattan like we own the place. And we stumble upon one of these guys. They lay it all out on a blanket. So when the cops come, they just roll it all up, move on to the next one.
It's like Huggy Bear.
Yeah. So this guy's got a bunch of Folexes up there. We're looking at him going, man, this is awesome. So we all buy one for like $20. This is 1984 or 5. So we're rolling around. We're rolling up our sleeves. We're making sure everybody can see our Folex. Well, one of my buddies, he doesn't get to the end of the block, and the second hand falls off of it. He's going, "Oh, wait a minute. I can't tell what time it is anymore."
Didn't you say one of them, his wrist turned green or something?
Oh, yeah. But, man, we were slinging those Rolexes like we were, like
They're not asking the deeper questions like, why isn't everybody in the world coming and buying these legitimate Rolexes for $20? Why is this guy who is evidently got the Rolex market locked up in greater New York City, why is he operating on a folding table on a blanket? You're not asking the deep questions like that. There may be something a little bit less than legitimate about this.
From a distance, it looks like a Rolex.
And
when you look at it close, it kind of looks like one. But the second hand, it's ticking like that. And a real Rolex is perpetual.
It's
it
sweep,
keeps going.
Yeah. Well,
and so that's where you first notice you got to.
Well, there are people who have been to Harry's Crimson or the Crimson Bucket or something like that. And that guy, your buddy, is going, wait a minute, you're looking at her? And you're like, well, from a distance, to use John, from a distance, it actually.
She's called a 30-footer.
Yeah, from 30 feet.
She looks good.
Right. Well,
that's another story. Well, Barry, you're in Pearl, Mississippi. I got another quick story for you.
I don't believe it's quick, but I'm here for it. Yeah.
But it's so I'm over there playing golf with some buddies in a kind of a tournament type format thing at Old Waverly, which of course Mark has mentioned a lot. He plays there a lot near Starkville, and we drove from Old Waverly, which is in West Point, Mississippi,
yeah,
to Pearl, Mississippi, which we thought was closer than it actually was.
It ain't all that close, I can promise you.
We found that out. And we're sitting there at a blackjack table, playing blackjack, knowing we got to be back for an early tea time the next morning, but we ended up making it. And I'm looking across the casino, and I see this pit boss, this lady in a green dress. And I went, wow, she is really attractive to be in Pearl, Mississippi. And noticed my buddy, I nudged my buddy. I went, man, she's kind of cute. I mean, look, she's pretty, Anyway, she makes her way to where we were. And, we kind of were looking, and we're kind of, sitting up straight. She opens up her mouth to smile. It looked like the mouth of a shark. I went, ooh, honey. Oh, close your mouth. Now we know why you're in Pearl, Mississippi.
Well,
gotta be careful.
As we close out this immortal segment here, the point I want to bring up is this. We've seen this before. Heck, John's mentioned this before. With the NFL playing all these games and committing to playing overseas, Rio de Janeiro, Melbourne, Australia. And, the beginning and the end of people taking seriously neutral site bowl games. Does all of that work? Has it worked? The NFL wants to broaden their audience. I don't know. Maybe there's some Aussies who are saying, crikey, this football looks pretty good. Maybe there's people in Munich, Germany, or wherever. They're saying, man, I watched a game. It was great. Rio de Janeiro, Mexico City. Neutral site games that I think, have come and gone, although Georgia and Florida State are looking for a neutral site.
Barry,
is all of that worth it, John?
I wonder, baseball does it. They play in Japan. I think they played some other countries. The
Mexico
NBA
City, Guadalajara, for gosh sake.
Yeah. So, there's definitely wanting to expand their market. I get it. To me, though, it's hard on the fans. I mentioned, are the Saints only going to have 7 home games this year? The Falcons only going to have 7.
The Jaguars deal with that every year. This year, they got to deal with it for 2 whole weeks.
But there again, the TV revenue, the marketing, the money that's produced. Hey, Auburn's playing in Atlanta for a reason. And it ain't going to be the last time you see teams do stuff like that. So get ready. They do feel bad for the local merchants. They do feel, oh, man. You think
I wish there was something we could do about this other than actually playing the game at all.
Merchants, how bad they felt when Alabama played 3 games at Legion Field every year. And they were the 3 biggest, LSU, Tennessee, Auburn.
All right, we better hope we can sell all of these Johnny Musos at the Mississippi Southern game. That's a good point. Has it been worth it? Is it worth it for the NFL?
How much?
8:30 in the morning to watch the Saints play? I know a lot of people in New Orleans, 8:30 in the morning is just when they're coming in on Sunday.
That's right. Or getting off that late shift, and they'll watch the game there in the quarter at a bar, which a lot of the restaurant servers and stuff do. But, Barry, how far can they stretch the fan, particularly the college fan? How far can – we were talking yesterday, Barry, the Titans building their new state. Gurn was in Nashville, and I could see behind him in the office building that he was in, the new stadium was right behind him. The seat, $75,000 just for a seat license for a Titans game.
This is not $75 for tickets to that seat. It's $75,000 for the opportunity to purchase tickets. To that
He
seat.
was there. He mentioned he was there. It was Monday night. He joined me yesterday. He was trying to get into a restaurant on Broadway on a Monday night, packed to the gills. Everybody was on Broadway.
Well,
I said, Gurn, I'm scheduled to be at a wedding in Nashville in early June on a weekend, on a Saturday.
That's right.
I couldn't find a hotel room that was under $1,000 a night. What in the hell's going on in Nashville?
Whoa.
How about that? Now, I guess I
Yikes.
could stay out in Franklin or one of these other communities, but I really didn't want to do that. So I'm having to find somebody I know in Nashville that I can sleep on their couch or something.
Well, again, you got that in Nashville. They're building a $2 billion stadium in Buffalo, New York. Oh, we love the Bills. We'll brave the 0-degree temperatures in December in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. Well, they're building one where it's going to be a lot warmer. It's costing $2 billion. It'll be ready for the football season this year. But all you Buffalo fans, you better take out a second mortgage because they're going to. Where do you think that money's coming from? Well, let's take a break because when we come back, it's the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yeah, it is.
Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Awards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older. Drive away in a Ford F-150 or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Truck and 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Drawings May 29th and 30th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Well, Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Okay, back at it, 23 minutes past the hour here on a Wednesday. Barry, we won our daily dog on Friday that we talked about on Monday, but just to let you know, but Monday and Tuesday selection have been a little difficult. Last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves roll into San Antonio. It was competitive. It was close. They were hanging around there for a minute.
Wembayana, 27 points, 17 rebounds. He is a problem.
Yeah, it was. And I'm looking at the box score. Fourth quarter was not good to the T-Wolves.
They end up winning it. They end up winning it by 29.
Yeah.
And easily covered the spread at home.
Yeah, they did. Just to give you a quick recap, Barry, while you were gone yesterday, the Detroit-Cleveland game, we had Detroit who won the first quarter by 3 points. They won the second quarter by 1, so they're up 4 at halftime, and we're catching 3.5.
And then Donovan Mitchell goes nuts in the second half. He scores 39 points in the second half for the Cavs.
Only problem is I'm not sure Detroit came out of the locker room to start the third quarter because they got outscored by 17 in the third. They actually outscored Cleveland in the fourth quarter, but the damage was already done. That was a tough one yesterday. I didn't want to. I hate to bring up a loss again, but I just thought it was so incredible, those box scores. The box score yesterday, I can't really harp on that.
But all that's ancient history.
It is.
Yep. That was then. This
we're
is
going
now.
to take a different path today, Barry. A different path. We're going to go Major League Baseball today.
Oh, okay. I never have understood, not that I've understood, not the attraction of or anything, how you bet Major League Baseball, something like minus 138 or minus 160. I don't know. Okay.
Well, this is how we're going. This is how you do it.
All right.
And there are a lot of good games today. There's a lot going on in the world of baseball. But we have zeroed in on one particular game.
Okay.
And this really caught my eye for several reasons. And we're going to go ahead and tell you it is a game that will be taking place at Truist Park at 6:15 on the Major League Baseball Network, or MLB TV, excuse me.
Yeah.
That I don't have. Nor do I have that other thing that they're having a fire sale on that billboard I saw the other day that they've cut the price in half to get Braves telecast. But I don't want to get off on that tangent.
Nor is he in the market to buy.
No.
Well, it's featuring one of the two winningest teams in Major League Baseball right now.
Yep.
Real quick.
Okay.
The two winningest teams in Major League Baseball at the moment are the Atlanta Braves, who have the best record right now in Major League Baseball at 29-13. Of course, the best record in the National League. The second best overall record in Major League Baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah. Hello. Where are you?
Atlanta is 29-13. They beat the Cubs yesterday. The Rays are 28-13.
If I could just take a little side street here for a moment.
They've won
9 out of their last 10. They're on a 3-game winning streak. 9 out of their last 10. This is a program that plays in a AA park. They don't have a payroll like the big bad Yankees and the Red Sox and all those other teams. They just go about doing their business, bringing up players from their farm system right here in Montgomery. And we are a Rays town.
Only a half game behind the Braves for the best record in Major League Baseball.
Sure. And
I would imagine that their payroll is at least 40% less.
Yeah, no doubt.
Than the Braves payroll.
And I'm really looking forward to the Rays and the Braves. I'm sure they'll be playing a little bit later on in the season. But let's get back to this game tonight.
Yep.
Look, I don't know who JR is. Never heard of him.
That's a shocker.
He's not any good because Shota.
No, you started it off.
Shota Manga.
Imanaga. Yes.
So J.R. Richie Berry is obviously not any good because you've got what some people are leading us to believe is the greatest team in Major League Baseball to this point. They have won, 3 in a row. You just mentioned, got a great record, second best record or the best record in baseball. They've won 7 of the last 10. They're on a 3-game winning streak. How in the world are they an underdog at home tonight?
I didn't do it.
I guess J.R. Richie is the reason. But you know what?
Any relation to Lionel?
I don't know. Or Richie Rich, maybe. I don't know what the deal is here. But I'm gonna take all you Braves fans, all three of you, advice that all the Braves are great, and I'm gonna put my money on J.R. Ritchie tonight as an underdog.
Whoa.
And I'm gonna see if this comes to pass. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, I know this guy. He's been around long enough. I know exactly what's going to happen.
Now
that in the game.
Put that one on his script as well. Put that one on his script, Bill from Baltimore. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
that's tried and true.
Okay, so the Cubs it depends on where you look. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of regulated sports wagering sites here right now. You can get the Cubs anywhere from minus 135 all the way to minus 148. But we don't want that because we're taking the odds here. And the best I see is at FanDuel where the Braves are at plus 122. I'm seeing everything from plus 115 to plus 122. We're taking 122 and J.R. Ritchie. Basically, Barry, what that means is if I'm putting up $100.
Okay.
And if the Braves win the game, I'm being paid 122. If I took the Cubs, I'd have to put up 143 to win the 100. So there again, Braves are a home dog. They're hot. They're winning. And they're a dog tonight?
Doesn't make any sense. By the way,
the Braves.
John brings this up. Braves fans, make your reservations for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, September 8th, 9th, and 10th when the Braves have a 3-game midweek series.
It's going to be great.
Against the Tampa Bay Rays at Truist Park.
So, Barry, can I get like Braves vision for just 3 games and then cancel it so I can watch the Montgomery's team?
No, but like you said, you saw on a billboard the intersection of 85 and 65. You can get it at a reduced rate now.
Yes. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Huh?
All right.
But we're going to take them tonight. We're going to take the Braves catching plus 122. Against Chicago. Now, Barry, maybe this as well. How about this?
All right.
Maybe this isn't a home game for the Braves because we've been told Braves home games when they play Chicago can turn into a Cubs home game. Maybe that's the reason.
That was Jay Clay. That wasn't, anybody reputable or anything like that. Give me a break. Well, somebody reputable in one of the jewels of the state of Alabama down in Greenville, which is a jewel in and of itself. Cambrian Ridge on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Greenville. Brian Reynolds, the director of golf down there, joins us. And we get a chance to talk a little bit about what's going on at Cambrian Ridge right now. Brian, good morning.
Brian.
How are you?
Good, guys. How about you?
Man, we are doing great. I mean, the weather, absolutely beautiful. I know there's been a lot of golf being played. I was checking out around the trail, Brian. A lot of high school championships were contested on the trail throughout the week. And, man, that's just another great thing that the trail does for our high school golfers.
That's right. We host it's gotten so large in the ASHAA that we've had to break it up into 3 events. So we had one in Mobile, one in Dothan, and one at Silver Lakes. And I think the plan in the future is to rotate them around the state, have them at different venues each year, try to, knock down the drive time for some schools where they're closer one year, further one year.
Yeah.
But, that's something we've done since the trail opened was host those championships for the ASHAA. And it's a lot of fun for those guys. The AGA and USGA come in and run those events with us. Where it's run like a professional event for these guys with starters on the tees and everything like that. So it's just it's a fun way for us to give back and, give those guys a venue that they really enjoy and golf courses that are in great shape for their championship.
Well, Brian, since you bring that up, correct me if I'm wrong, but in about a week and a half, we get started with the Father-Son Championship at Cambrian.
That's right. We've got a lot on the book for the month of May into June. We got the Father-Son Memorial Day weekend. That event sells out in about 24 hours. 100 teams. So that's a big event coming up. Then June 5th, we got Big C. We got him right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
That's a big event. I talked to Cody yesterday, and they had already sold the event out before they even sent flyers out, and we're looking at adding some more teams. And we did some math and figured out what would keep the golf course moving good and pace of play good for that event. So that event, Big C's event, has grown, and he'll have over 100 players this year.
Yeah, who's going to turn Big C down? I mean, come on.
I ain't.
That's
you can try.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I love it. Well, you mentioned your golf course. I mean, Brian, this time of year we've had some showers, got a lot of sun. The temperatures are perfect. So this just your golf courses are just flourishing this time of year. And our viewers and our listeners need to make sure that they get down there and see what Cambrian Ridge is all about.
That's right. The courses are awesome. We went from famine to feast with rain. We went the whole month of April with almost no rain. We had that little shower Easter weekend, and now we've definitely had the rain. Now the courses are lush. We did a bulk out fertilization. I'm sorry, I got tongue tied on the whole golf course about a week ago. So it's the fertilizer's down. The rain has got that fertilizer kicking in, giving it even more color and jumping that Bermuda grass. So our golf courses are in great shape. Don't hesitate to get a tee time, because I'll tell you, since COVID, the golf business has gone crazy, and we get calls every day of people like, I can't believe I can't get a tee time, and we're like, we can't believe it either. But that's the the reality we're in now with golf. It's a booming sport. A lot of new people have come to the game, and it's just busy. I mean, it's amazing.
Is it still a good number, 382-9787 down there, Brian?
That's it, or rtjgolf.com. You can book your tee times online.
Yeah.
Through our new portal we've got, which it's a lot easier to do that than get in the golf shops at times, because a lot of times we're so busy at the counter.
Sure.
Sometimes we have to put the phones on hold to take care of that customer in front of you. So we're pushing a lot of people to rtjgolf.com, or you can download the new app on your Android or Apple device. Log in, book your tee time, see what's available. If nothing's available, we have a system called Notify. Put your information in. As soon as there's a cancellation, you'll get a text message saying, hey, a time just opened up at 10:10. Do you want it? So we got a lot of neat features on that new app.
I love
that. Is awesome. That is a great thing right there.
And John and I have both spent a good amount of time in the pro shop at Cambrian Ridge. We can understand why there's a lot of customers browsing around and why you're helping them. There's a lot of
That's right. When you got 2 registers and 300 people trying to get out and play, if we don't have 2 people, I had a girl call out sick the other day, and I was in the shop by myself, and I let my pros have the day off, and it was like 7:30, and I had them lined up back to the bar, and I was like, oh my
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Love it. All that great merchandise and equipment, the latest styles, the latest equipment. And Brian, I did see this as well. With the summer months coming up, so much interest and so much play. You're needing a little help out there. I know with like in the bag drop area and some of the other outside areas where you need some help. You're looking for some people to come work for you this summer.
That's right. That's at all of our sites. This is the time of year, we have a lot of high schoolers and college kids that work for us part-time. A lot of seniors are moving on to college. A lot of seniors in college are moving on to real jobs. Whether you're looking for work, and, I think Joe over at Auburn could use some help. Will at Capitol Hill, myself, if you're looking for a part-time job, give us a shout. We've got openings in the golf shop and at the bag drop. You got great benefits. You get golf really cheap, discounts on your merchandise, discount on your food. So, it's a great environment. We work around college schedules, high school schedules to see what you can work. But if you're looking for some work, contact Will or Joe or myself at those 3 facilities in this area, and we probably got some spots open.
Brian, I want to get your thoughts about the PGA Championship. It's the 108th playing of this event. I got to tell you, I had to look up Ornament Golf Club in near Philadelphia. Just wasn't real familiar with it. I know Gary Player won a PGA Championship there years ago. They played some amateurs, some women's events, things of that nature. Your thought about the PGA, the second major of the year, and also something I think maybe people might have forgotten about. Jordan Spieth would like to win this. It would complete that career Grand Slam for him. I think people maybe have forgotten about Jordan Spieth.
That's right. He's playing pretty well right now. I don't know if you're going to put your money down. Cam Young seems to be playing pretty well. Good gracious. Yeah. That's a funny swing with that little pause at the top, but boy, he sure makes it work. You know, we got our old Auburn boy Duffner's in it this week. It'd be neat to see him throw some numbers.
That's right.
Duffner's in it from a past win. He gets an exemption from his win, so it'd be neat to see him do something well, being a somewhat of a local boy. But you know, Justin Thomas, you never can take out Rory. I mean, it's all these guys are so good. It's just whether it's their week or not, you know?
Yeah. You mentioned Cameron. I was watching Golf Channel last night. Brandel Chambly was talking about some type of golf ball that maybe the manufacturers made for him. I mean, he hits it a mile, but he wanted something maybe with a little less spin on it, maybe when he approached the green. I mean, it's a legal golf ball from what I understand. They didn't tell what manufacturer it was, but they really made the point. I don't know if you remember the drive he hit on 18 at TPC at Sawgrass, the Players Championship, like 375 or something. And I had not heard about this ball, but they were discussing it last night. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, these guys, you know, you'd like to think that you're playing the same equipment they are, but we're not. You know, those guys are still on the tour. Those guys are playing prototypes and stuff that are, you know, their equipment may be stamped to look like ours, but it's something that's, you know, a couple of years out most of the time. They're hitting prototypes, and, you know, it's, you know, it was only a couple of years ago that, you know, if you're a guy that played the Pro V1, you started hearing about left dash, right dash.
Yep.
Those are balls that have a tendency to go a certain direction, whether you're a slice player, fade player, low spin, high spin. And Titleist has started releasing some of those things out to the general public now, but, you know, there's probably 9 to 10 different versions of that Pro V ball that these guys play. You know, they get in there with these new launch monitors and all that. They can really, you know, pin down their spin rates and launch angles and all that. And they can change that dimple pattern a little bit, or I don't even know if there's some type of, maybe a cover's a little thicker on one side. I don't exactly know the engineering behind it, but yeah, these guys, they when they get to an event, they go to that Titleist trailer, Callaway trailer, to get their equipment for the week. And you know, each one of those guys have their own drawer in those trailers, and that's their special ball. And, you know, those guys, a lot of people don't realize that at these tour events, they actually hit the range ball that they play on the golf course. They'll sort those range balls out after a range session, bag them for specific players where they're practicing with the same ball they're going to play with on the golf course. It's not a put a token in the range server and get you a bucket. I can tell you that.
They're not hitting rocks, huh? They're hitting
no. They're not hitting those ones with stripes on them like us. But you know, they're dialed in, and those guys, they got some great equipment, and it's equipment that, you know, will be passed down to the average golfer at some point. Once, you know, of course, I'm not saying they're playing with illegal stuff. All the stuff's been that they're playing with has been approved through the USGA. It meets the core standards of how fast the ball can come off a club face, how thick the driver club face is. It's all legal stuff we just haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah.
Wow. Brian Reynolds, Cambrian Ridge, Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. While we're talking, I have downloaded the app. You can go to the App Store, wherever you get your apps, and just look for Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. You can download that app. We've already mentioned 334-382-97 time for tee times and more information, but that app's a way to go, Brian.
Yeah, it's there's so much stuff on it. It's you know, you can buy your trail card on it. You can sign up for an auto renewal every year where you don't have to worry about it. You can see your points.
Yeah.
If you're a guy that takes people out for business, golf and things like that, you can see all your spending on it. You can print your receipt for a expense report off of. There's a lot of neat things on this new app. We spent a lot of time researching it and what people were asking for on the app, and had the developers, you know, work with us to get it where we needed. And there's more things to come on that app. This is just the first generation of it, but you know, in this age that we live in, people are living on cell phones and devices, and you know, it's quicker to pick your phone up and make a tee time than to dial on the phone.
No question.
Talk to somebody, and then you see what's available and you grab it.
Yeah. It's that simple, man. It's awesome. Making it easier for the golfer out there, the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Just go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for all the information. As Brian mentioned, you can make tee times there as well, or you can just call the shop at 382-9787. That's area code 334, and they'll be happy to assist you there as well. Brian, thank you so
Hey,
much.
Barry, after the show, shoot me an email with your address. I need to get you a new hat to wear live. I need to get you a trail hat and get that North Face.
Yeah, let's do that.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotta have
Shoot
that
me your
on.
address. We'll drop a hat to you, man. Get you a trail hat.
Yeah, if you got a double X, that'd be good for me. Yeah,
We
appreciate it.
won't do it for John. John's got great hair over there, so we got to let the hair be seen.
Yeah.
I'll definitely wear it on camera. That's for sure. I appreciate that. Brian
All right,
Reynolds,
man.
Cambrian
Hi, buddy.
Ridge.
Thank you so
man.
much. Great stuff down at Greenville's Cambrian Ridge. So glad to hear everything. And I'm hearing that trail wide, Barry, that, man, folks are flocking to the trail. They're playing it. Golf is booming. And it's such a great value. The courses are just in fabulous shape. And I want to give a shout out to Range Pro. We do that a lot.
Always do, yeah.
Range Pro was out on the river on Sunday, I believe. He and Little Range Pro, I think, were out there on jet skis. And they zipped over to the judge at Capitol Hill, which is going through a major renovation. Range Pro gave me some video from the water. I've seen the renovations from land, but seeing it from the water side really looked cool. And there's a lot going on over there. The judge is shut down right now. It should be back open based on the pictures I saw. It'll probably be this time next year. But they got a lot going on over there. They've redone the legislator there. They did the senator a couple of years ago, refreshing it. They did all that down in Greenville a couple of years ago. So they've completely revamped those three courses there. So just a lot going on, and people certainly taking advantage of world-class golf right here in our own backyard.
Absolutely love it. More to come still in just a moment. Let's take a break. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K, Saturday, May the 30th from 7:30 until 10 a.m. Proceeds benefiting the River Region United Way. Here's your chance to run on the Montgomery Regional Airport runway. It's a great time for the entire family. For more information, just scan the QR code on the screen or visit iflymgm.com. The Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it, with Delta, American, and United Airlines serving MGM with routes to Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. The Montgomery Regional Airport 5K Runway Run, Saturday, May the 30th. Register now for a great day of fun at MGM. Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their four locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, Okay, we're back at it here about 12 minutes to the top of the hour here on a Wednesday. Hey, tomorrow, Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Freshest seafood direct from the Gulf, arriving daily here at the Destin Connection. So looking forward to that. Don't want to get too excited about it because Friday is when I'll be more excited about it. When we go through the NFL schedules, you know what bums me out, Bear? I get excited about it. And then I have to go through this just crap with the Cowboys, 3 o'clock on Sunday, Sunday night, Monday night, always on Thanksgiving. Thinking,
3:05 Sundays. Anytime they get a chance. Now, I'm no Cowboys fan. I do like Dak Prescott. John can't stand him. On a molecular level, but I'm with John on this. I don't understand why everybody loves the Cowboys. I don't get that. I never have. But yeah, we'll have them shoved down our throats. Also, this. Very likely I'm wearing my Jaguars cap tomorrow on the show for the schedule reveal.
Yeah, sure.
Geez. Okay. Anyway, by the way, the Jaguars brand new or another stadium.
Yeah,
building them all over the place. Go ahead, serve it up.
So I maybe that's a little harsh about Dak. I mean, I think he's overrated. And if he wasn't playing for the Cowboys, he'd probably catch a lot more crud.
I've wiped his nose every once in a while,
And I get it. I get why the Cowboys are on when they are. I know some people out there don't like it, like me, but I get it. I hear people go, other people play football too. I hear that in college a lot.
Yeah,
I know they do, but they don't generate the ratings and the eyeballs don't gravitate to them like they do the Notre Dames and the Alabamas and the Texas and the whatever going on and on. Same thing with Dallas. It doesn't matter if Dallas sucks or not. They're still going to put them on Thanksgiving. They're going to put them on Monday night as much as they can. Sunday night, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. I'm telling you, when this schedule comes out tomorrow night, make a note to see how many 12 o'clock Sunday games the Cowboys play.
I have no doubt. It will be justified, all these comments, when it comes up. Yeah, and though Dak is another one to put on John's unscripted stuff out there as well. This is something, since we're talking about scheduling, I like Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC. He's always been very good with us. He'll come on with us live once a year. I think it's in his contract. Only once. He's very good about answering all of our questions. Sometimes we don't understand the answers because he keeps talking about synergy and cultural shifts and all that stuff. But there are times when I'm thinking, come on, Greg, that's a little too far. The schedules are out. John and I have gone over the schedules. I think it was in Birmingham, the Associated Press Southeastern's annual Southeast region meeting, bunch of journalists meeting in Montgomery, and he was speaking with the journalists Monday. And among the questions, there have been more and more. It's insidious. It keeps growing and growing and growing. There are more college football games being played on Friday nights. The Big Ten, the Big 12, the ACC all play Friday night games with the Friday night primetime slot. I mean, that is a linchpin of Fox and the Big 12, Big 10 coverage.
Yeah.
They all play Friday night games, but they also schedule some games on Thursday. Well, the SEC doesn't feel the need to expand its scheduling needs beyond Saturdays, except for Labor Day and stuff like that. Greg Sankey said this on Monday. He says, and the SEC is not going to do it. They're not going to play on Friday, and I agree with that. But Sankey told reporters, for everybody that thinks we just grab money, we could grab money by just putting games on different nights of the week. We could certainly do that.
And
but
that's not
we
fair to
don't
the fans.
And I'm thinking, Greg, just hush. I mean, I agree with it, but believe me, if somebody came up today to Greg Sankey and said, hey, we've got this plan where you could put games on Friday night and make $32 million, we'd have a Friday night game day after tomorrow.
Sure.
So don't call the high and mighty, well, the money isn't everything. Oh, grow up, Mortimer, or grow up, Randolph. And that one rang a little false to me. He's saying, well, we believe in the sanctity of Friday nights, and we believe in the well-being of the student athletes. Yeah. Bull doo-doo. If you had the chance and somebody could demonstrably show that you could make money and garner all the rates and all that for Friday, you do it in a dang heartbeat.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I'm with you, Barry. I mean, I don't want to see SEC football on a Friday night either, but if the money's right, you think they're turning it down?
No.
No, I don't think they're going to turn it down. So they're just saying that, really maybe waiting for a network to offer it to them. We'll see what happens if and when that ever does happen. But I do like the fact that the SEC, I mean, think about it. When's the last time, and if it might have been last season, if it was, I'm sorry, that an SEC team played on a Thursday night in the middle of the year? Now, we do know one SEC team was a regular on a Thursday night in the regular season, but I don't know of any team that's played on a Thursday night in the regular season in the SEC in a while.
We almost went an hour and 40 minutes. There was a little dig earlier. We almost went a full hour and 40 minutes without an Auburn dig. Even an oblique off, not mention them by name reference.
Is it a dig if it actually really did happen?
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that happened in 1957 before John was even born that he brings up. Well, it's not really a dig because it did happen. Yeah, before your lifetime, 70 years ago.
I can't remember everything I've ever mentioned on this forum in 30 plus years.
Oh, goodness.
If I have mentioned this, I'm sorry. But, Barry, I went to a Thursday night game at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn was playing Ole Miss on a Thursday night. Terry Bowden was the coach.
Didn't you also go to a Virginia game?
I've been to two. I went to Charlottesville, Virginia, and saw Auburn play on a Thursday night.
Let me check my notes.
On the road.
That Ole Miss reference, that is now the 319th time you brought that up. Okay.
I've seen Auburn play twice on a Thursday night. Huh. How about that? In person, live. Sat next to Coach Dye in the press box at the in Charlottesville.
Just as a point of contrast, Mr. Longshore, can you tell the jury whether you have ever seen the University of Alabama play on a Thursday night with any degree of certainty?
There again, acts of God, weather.
I'm talking about in person.
Well, they played Southern Miss. It was a makeup game. There was a tornado or a hurricane or something.
Right.
And they couldn't play Southern Miss. So I want to say they played them on a Thursday night at Legion Field.
I want to say, and I could be wrong, we've talked about this, but it's been a long time. I listened to that game, Eli and Snake.
Yeah.
Southern Miss beat them 21-0, and I thought Snake was going to lose his mind. Okay.
That was a different game.
That was classic. He was about to jump out of the broadcast booth and go down there and take a swing at somebody.
Barry, that was the that was the game immediately after Alabama went to the Rose Bowl to open up the season against UCLA and got beat. Then they came home, played Southern Miss, got beat.
Shut out
at Legion Field. That game was at night on a Saturday. But the game I'm talking about, I believe, was a makeup game on a Thursday. And that's the game, Barry, where Bob from Prattville was watching the game. Bama got out to a big lead. Things were great. Gets in his car, drives from Prattville to Legion Field to make the kickoff for the third quarter. He was not planning on going to the game. It was killing him that he wasn't. Bama's winning. Zips up 65 to watch the second half. I've actually left Legion Field at halftime and went and had lunch with Feinbaum. He dropped me back off at the stadium. He left.
He didn't come back.
Yeah. I didn't either. I went home too.
Confirmation on this real quick. Got a minute. Chris the Bammer. Vandy on Thursday in Nashville. Dubose was the coach. We'll have to check on that on tomorrow's show.
And there again, I don't remember that. I
don't
really
either.
don't. And I think it's up to the home team to determine. But, Barry, we all know the late, great Mal Moore. Mississippi State wanted to play Alabama on a Thursday night. Mal went, oh, no. We are not. Even I know it's your home game.
It was in Starkville, yeah. And Mal's telling them who they can schedule and when at their place.
Yeah.
And he made it stick, too. They said, all right. We were just thinking out loud. Gracious. Well, our thanks to Brian Reynolds from Cambrian Ridge for stopping by. I thought a really good segment, as always, with CJ Duncan from Yellowhammer News. As John has detailed, tomorrow it's Rodney Day, Rodney Orr, Tighter Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, plus Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover.
And very, very interested in the Atlanta Braves tonight. Unfortunately, I won't be able to listen to it on the radio, so I'm just going to have to track the scores at ESPN.com, I believe. So, Braves, don't let me down. I'm backing you tonight.
For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.